Okay, we are on page 136 in your book, using the pen tool for selections. The pen tool is the most accurate of all the selection tools in Photoshop. The selection that it creates is referred to as a path. A path utilizes points and segments to define a border. Paths are not only more accurate than other selection methods, but they are also more economical as they do not increase file size, and unlike saved channel selections. This is because paths don't contain image data. They are simply outlines. In this section, you will learn how to make a basic path and then use it to make a selection that you can use for adjusting an image's tonal values. So here's some pen tool terminology. The curve, originally developed by Pierre in the 1970s for CAD and CAM operations, this curve became the underpinning of the entire Adobe PostScript drawing model. The depth and size of a curve is controlled by fixed points and direction lines. Anchor points are used to control the shape of a path or object. They are automatically created by the shape tools. You can manually create anchor tools by clicking from point to point with the pen tool. Direction lines, these are essentially the handles that you use on anchor points to adjust the depth and angle of curved paths. Closed shape, when a path is created, it becomes a closed shape when the starting point joins the end point. Simple path, a path consists of one or more straight or curved segments. Anchor points mark the endpoints of the path segments. In the next section, you will learn how to control the inks. Okay, I'm on page 136. We're going to go browse in Bridge, and we're going to find 0507. Right here. And we're going to save it as 0507 work. So file, save as _ work. Okay. And this part of the exercise will guide you through the basics of using the pen tool. So we're at the top of page 137. Select the pen tool from the tools panel. I think this is the pen tool. That's the eyedropper. Nope. Maybe that's a paintbrush. Right here is the pen. Pen tool. Okay. Position the cursor over the image and notice that an asterisk appears in the lower right corner of the tool. This signifies that you're beginning a new path. Right here. Okay, see the plus sign? When the pen tool is selected, the options bar displays 3 path buttons. Shape layers, right here, I think. Path, right here. Shape, paths, and fill. Click the second menu item for paths. 3 paths buttons. Oh, shape layers, paths, and fill pixels. Shape. We need to choose path. Okay, yep, right here. We'll choose path. Increase the zoom level. So I'm going to come down here and increase to 100. Okay. Place the pen tip at the first box in example A, right here, and click once to create the first anchor point of the path. Don't worry if it's not exactly in the corner, as you can adjust the path later. So I'm going to click here. Place the pen tip at the second box on example A and click once, right here. Another anchor point is created with a line connecting the first anchor point to the second anchor point. You can kind of see the line there. Continue clicking on each box in the exercise until you reach the last box on the path. So I'm going to purposely be a little off here so that you can see that there is a line, okay? This is making straight lines all the way over to the end. Okay. If you're having difficulty seeing the line segments between the points on your path, you can temporarily hide the exercise layer by clicking on the visibility icon. So I'm going to go to layer here, and see where it says exercise? Click on the eyeball, and there, you can actually see that the lines are there. So I'm going to turn the eyeball back on. Hold down the control key and click on the white background to deactivate the path that was just drawn to prepare for the next path. In example A, only straight line segments were used to draw a path. Now we'll use curved lines. So I'll hold down the control key and click on the white background to deactivate the path. So like this, I'm going to turn off the visibility here. Okay, and I'm going to hold down the control key and click, and it turned off the path. Okay, the lines are still there, but we're not drawing a path anymore. So I can click in other places, I believe. Okay, maybe it's here. Control click on the background color. Nope, that's not it either. All right, I think we're good. Let's go on to number 11. Reposition the document in the window so that example B is visible. And I got that here. So with the pen tool selected, click and hold on the small square and drag upward to create directional angles. Directional handles control where the following path will go. Note that when you create directional handles, you should drag until the length is the same or slightly beyond the arc that you're creating. Okay, so with the pen tool, click and hold on the small square and drag upward. So right here, I'm going to click there, click and hold, and drag up. So it's beyond the curve. I'm just going to go straight up like this. Okay. Click and hold on the second box in example B and drag the directional handle downward. Keep dragging until the path closely matches the curve of example B. Don't worry if it's not exact for this part of the lesson. So click and hold the second box and drag downward. Okay, and let go. Click on the third box in B and drag upward to create the next line segment. To edit, continue this process to the end of the example B. So this one we want to go down, and this one we want to go up. To edit the position of the points in the path, you'll use the Direct Selection tool. Click and hold on the Path Selection tool and select the Hidden Direction tool. So where's my pen? Right here. And we want to choose Direct Selection. Click and hold on the Path Selection tool. Right here. And Direct Selection. Click and hold on the Path Selection tool. Maybe it's just right here, even just the pointer. And choose, no, that's not it. Path selection, path operators. Let's come over here for paths in here. Right here is the Path Selection tool, and we need to click and hold on that and choose Direct Selection tool. Position the direct selection tool over a path segment, the area between two anchor points, and click once. So maybe right here. The directional handles that control that line segment are displayed. Click and drag on any of the directional handles to fine-tune your line segments. You can also click directly on each anchor point to reposition them if necessary. So we can do this, okay? And so that's how you draw a curved line. So I'm going to go File, I'm going to go File, Close, and Save, Yes. So now we're on page 139 using the pen tool to select an image. So we're going to open 0508 from Bridge. So here is 0508. And we're going to save it as 0508 underscore work. So save as underscore work. Okay. On the keyboard, hold down the Control key and then press the plus sign once to zoom in at 20%. Control, and then press the plus sign. And I have to hold down Shift to do that. Or I'm just going to change my, on the keyboard, hold down the Control key and then press the plus sign once to zoom in at 20%. Well, I'm going to zoom in. I'm just going to change it down here to 200%. There. Position the apple on the left side of the image so that it is in focus so that you can see the entire apple. This one right here. Okay, select the pen tool. And begin drawing a path around the apple using the skills you learned in the previous exercise by clicking and dragging at the top edge of the apple and dragging a handle to the right. So I'm going to click here and drag to the right. Move the pen tool farther along the apple and click and drag again, dragging out the directional handle each time, creating a curved line segment that matches the shape of the apple. So I'm going to click here and drag, okay, to get, there we go. I'm going to undo, I'm going to go to History and New Anchor Point. I guess I'll go here. Okay. I'm going to do a new, I'm going to go all the way back. So I'm going to click here and click and drag out. And then I'm going to click here on the bottom of it and click and drag out. Okay. And there we go. It's not perfect, but that's okay. And then I'm going to click here. And again, it's not perfect, but there. When you get back to the area where you began, the pen cursor has a circle next to it indicating that when you click back on the first anchor point, it will close. So if the path is not visible, okay, so window paths, window paths. You see one path in the panel named Work Path right here. Double click on the work path name and type in apple. Okay. In the paths panel, click below the name of the path to deselect the path right there. To reselect the path, simply click on the path name again. There, and you can see that there it is. It's there. I click off of it and it's not there. Now you'll apply an adjustment to this path selection. If the layers panel is not visible, choose window layers, which it is right here. Just click layers. Click and hold on the create new fill or adjustment layer at the bottom of the layers panel. Click and hold, which is right here. Click and hold. And select hue saturation right here. The adjustment panel becomes active and the hue and saturation adjustment is displayed right here. Drag the hue slider to 116. Hue is right here. Do 116. Now the apple should have turned green. A new adjustment layer is created right here, named Hue Saturation 1. The pen path you created is visible to the right of the Hue and Saturation Adjustment Layer thumbnail and acts as a mask, blocking the adjustments from occurring outside of the path. If you want to have multiple paths in the paths panel, deselect any active path before you begin drawing a new path. If you don't deselect, the new path you create will be added to and become part of the current selection. So we're going to go File, Close, Save, Yes. Okay, in the last exercise you created a curved path. Now you create a path with a combination of straight lines and curves. So we're going to open 0509. And save it as 0509 work. Okay, and we're going to do view, fit on screen. Okay, and with the pen tool, create the first anchor point at the bottom left side of the door by clicking once. Pen tool, bottom left side of the door by clicking once. I'm going to click right here. Stay on the left side of the door. Click again at the location that is aligned with the top of the door frame. Right here. Now, to set up the path for a curved segment around the arc of the door window, place the pen over the last anchor point, and when you see a right slash next to the pen cursor, right here, see the slash? Click and drag to pull a directional handle. Drag until the handle is even with the top horizontal bar inside the door window, right up here. The purpose of this handle is to set the direction of the curved segment that follows. So I'm going to let go. To form the first curve segment, place the pen tool cursor at the top of the arc of the window and then click and hold and drag to the right. All right, right here. Click and hold and drag to the right. All right, I'm going to go back. Now, to set the path for a curved segment around the arc of the window, place the pen over the last anchor point, which is right here. When you see a right slash next to the pen cursor, click and drag to pull a directional handle. Drag until the directional handle is even with the top horizontal bar inside the door window. Okay, that might be... Oh, the top bar inside the door. Okay, I see. It's right here. Right there. This one right here. The top bar. And let go. And then place the pen at the top of the arc of the door window and then click and drag to the right until the curve forms. Right here. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. And then release the mouse. And to finish off the curve, place your cursor at the right side of the door, aligned with the top of the door frame's crossbar. Click and drag straight down to form the remainder of the curve, aligned with the top of the door's crossbar. Right here, I think. And click and drag until we get the curve matched up. All right, it's not perfect, but that's okay. Because the next segment is going to be a straight line and not a curve, you'll need to remove the last handle. Position the cursor over the last anchor point, which is here. There's the slash. This indicates that you're positioned over an active anchor point. Click with the Alt key depressed, the handle disappears. I'm holding down the Alt key, and now I'm going to click. And the handle disappeared. Click on the bottom right side of the door to create a straight line segment. Okay, and then you can see the example there. And now I'm just going to keep making straight lines all the way across. Until I get back to the starting point, which is here. And I'm going to turn the background off so I can see. Or no, I can't, I guess. Path. And you can see the diagram of the work path, so I think I've got it. Editing paths requires a different strategy when working with curved segments. With the direction tool, select the path in the image to activate it. The direct selection tool. So that's right here. Select the path in the image to activate it. So there, I got it selected. I can see the handles. I'm going to zoom in to 200%, and this way I can see it better. See, I can see the path is here. Then select the anchor point at the top of the door, which is right here. Two directional handles appear next to the selected anchor point. You also see handles at the bottom of each respective curve segment to the left and right. These are used for adjusting the curve. Select the end of one of the handles and drag it up and down to see how it affects the curve. So right here, I'm going to grab this and drag. There, that's better. Okay, if you need to adjust any parts of your path to make it more accurate, take the time to do so now. So I'm going to click on this one. I need to move this one out, actually. And then I'm going to move this. There we go. Double click on the name of the work paths in the path pane over here, and we're going to name this door. Okay, and it says keep the image open for the next section, converting a path to a selection. So paths don't contain image data, so if you want to copy the contents of a path, you need to convert it to a selection. So make sure that the file from the last exercise is still open. It is. Click on the path named doors in the paths panel. I'm going to do that here. At the bottom of the paths panel, there are 7 path icons next to the panel trash can, right down here. Fill path with foreground color fills the selected path with the current foreground color, which right here is the foreground color. Stroke path with brush is better used if you first Alt-click on the icon and choose the tool from the drop-down menu that includes the brush you want to stroke with. Load path as a selection makes a selection from the active path. That's all of these down here, by the way. Make work path from selection creates a path from an active selection. Add a mask, create a new path, delete the current path. Choose load path as a selection to create a selection from the door path. Load path as a selection. Right there, load path as a selection. I'm going to do select, deselect. And choose file close. Did you see how that was? If I come back up here, it made it all into just a selection. And then I could change things with that selection. Or I wonder if I could even move it with the move tool. Yep, I can. Just the door. So if I zoom out, you can see this better. Okay, so that's how you can make it a selection and then actually use it to move and fill and stuff like that.